Good morning, everyone. Myself, Pooja Butala. I hope you all are safe and secure at your place. Because of this national pandemic, we are not going to conduct the lectures in college, and that is why we are going to conduct the lectures in this way, that is e-platform, and this is going to be our new normal. So we need to get gel up with this thing. Okay, so from today onwards, we are going to conduct the lectures in this manner. For this second year, first of all, I welcome you all to second year. Okay, so for the second year, in this semester, I'm going to conduct the lecture for data structure, files, and algorithm. This is a core subject, very important subject, and very interesting subject too. This subject is totally depend upon the programming. Okay, this is a 2 credit course where you have theory as well as practical. So theory also comes as a practical. I mean, it's all programming. So to understand this subject in a better way, I want you to work upon your programming language, that is C, that you had in your first year, first semester, right? So to understand in a better way, I want you to have the practice, hands-on practice on C programming. You can start with the basic programming, or maybe addition, subtraction, some LCM programs, or something like that, so that you'll get hands on the programming. Okay. Secondly, I want you to revise. I want to revise some things like data types. Then I want you to revise this loops, for loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay, I want you to revise if, else, and everything. These loops, the structure of loops. Then I want you to revise the most importantly, that is the structure. You have done the programs in structure. Okay, so you must have the idea what is structure, and this is going to play an important role when we do the programming or the practicals in DSF. So you must understand this DSF, this structures. And one more thing I want you to learn or to revise is pointers. So get through all these things, just have look, and please, just revise it, just check it, just read it from wherever you get the source. Like you can read on Google, or you can Google also, and you can read, or if you have books or notes, then you can go with it. Okay, but I wanted to revise because it was, it's pretty much time, like 5 months you are in this lockdown and all, so you are away from all these things, so you are not in touch. So to get in touch with all this thing, it is really mandatory. And for our subject, it is really required that you know the programming, because unless and until you don't do it, it is not going to work, and you are not going to understand the concepts of DSF. So I request you all, just go through this. If you don't have anything, please ask me. I'll provide you the data, but please, please, please go through it. Okay. Unless and until you do it, you will find it very much difficult. You may find first chapter very easy, but it is really not possible to go through it without doing any kind of programming practice, because this is a core subject, this is a programming subject, right? So let's start with data structure, files, and algorithms. So what is data? You use these words many times. I have data in my mobile, I have data in my laptop, this is a data. What is data? Data is something, this is information? No, data is not information. And what is data? Data, it could be text, it could be picture, it could be video, it could be audio. So anything that contains some sort of text, or different types of files, that is called as a data. Then what is information? What is information? Is there any difference between data and information? Definitely. Data is just the data. Any text is a data. I write randomly. This is also data. Okay, whenever you write something in your laptop, in your Word file, it will get saved. So this is the data. Does this have any meaning? If I say this is a random number, then there is no meaning. But when I say this is a pin code of arcade, then definitely it's the information, right? So when you process your data to make it something so that we will get some knowledge out of it, it is called as information. Okay, so you have to understand there is a thin line between data and information. So when the data is organized or processed in a meaningful way, it is going to be a information. So this number is just a data, but when I say pin code of K, this is information, right? So we have data, we process the data, and we will get is information, right? Now, what is the difference between the information and knowledge? These are the terminologies we use very often. Data, information, knowledge. What is the difference between all these things? As I have already explained you the information, the difference between the data and the information. Now, what is knowledge? So, what is knowledge? Okay, as I said, we use these terminologies very frequently, but still they are different from each other. As I said, this is just a number, this was just a data. When I said this is a pin code, then this is a information. And when I say this is a pin code of K, when I arrange it in such a way that you are going to get something out of it, some knowledge, some information, okay, which we are going to take, that is called as a knowledge. Okay, so from data you do processing to get the information, and when you process the information, what you get is the knowledge. Okay, so now why this data structure is there? What is data structure? What is the use of data structure? Okay, so you have a library we have library in our college. So there are n number of books. Those are arranged. If we'll pile up one upon other, if we'll keep it haphazard, if we'll not arrange the books only, and if I ask you to get the book of DSF from the library, is it possible for you to get it through? No. Why? Because they are not arranged. But when we arrange the books year wise, like for FY, for SY, for TY, or for programming language, then for this management subjects. So if we'll sort the different books according to the years or something like that, when we sort the data properly, or when we will sort the books, then only it will be possible for us, or it will be easy for us to retrieve the book that we need. Okay, so arrangement is very much important. Similarly, when you use your computer, it is very much important for you to keep or save your data efficiently, right? When you save the data, maybe photographs or pictures one side, views, you save everything in a same folder, then it will be very much clumsy, or it will be time consuming if you arrange the data in such a way. Okay, or in such a way like you will not going to sort. Okay, but if you make the folder for picture, if you will make folder for your audio clips, video clips, some files, okay, if you'll do that, then it is going to be very much efficient, because you can open that particular file quickly, right? So in our day-to-day life also, in your almirah, in your cupboard, when if you arrange your clothes, properly, then it is the chances of picking up the correct one or the nice one for the right occasion is really, you will get it in no time. But if you will not arrange it properly, then this is going to be time consuming. Similarly, in computers also the same thing happens. Okay, as you all are using smartphones already, you are using laptops, so you all are very much aware, if it takes some time, some extra time, you get irritated. Oh my god, it is taking so much time to open the file. So you also don't want something which takes time. So for that, to avoid that, what is important? The important is you should arrange the data properly. This is about us, that we have a file and we will keep it. Okay. Then what about the computer? Computer don't understand how he keeps the file. Is there any shelf inside the computer? No. As we all are aware, because we have already learned the OS, that there are two types of memories. Okay. One is RAM and other is ROM, static and dynamic, right? So whatever we saves in, it gets stored in memory. Is memory a shelf? No. Then how it gets stored? Have you ever thought of that? How it gets stored? What is the format of saving this data? When I store some picture, how it will get stored? When I store some file, maybe document, maybe Excel or something like that, how it gets stored? When I store a video, how how it gets stored? Because whenever we open it, it opens the way it was get stored, right? So there is no change, right? Whenever I open the picture of mine, it will always the same, right? It will not change automatically. It will not change the places, right? Why? How? So this all we are going to learn in this semester and some part in a next semester. So what is important is to organize the data properly. So for our computers, everything, whatever, because it doesn't understand anything. It doesn't know. You put some number, you put some 1010, that is going to be a binary. This computer understands that. No, it takes the number, it processes, because computer know actually only binary. Okay. So whatever you save, it will convert it into binary and it will get stored. How? That we don't know, and that we are going to find out. Okay. So now, what is data structure? So data structure is nothing but the organization of data, organizing data in a most logical way so that it can be used very efficiently. Okay. So please listen one more time. This is a definition. Data structure is nothing but the organization of the data in a logical way so that we can use it more efficiently. Efficiently as in, whenever we require that particular data, it should be handy, or it should not take much time to retrieve it, right? So now let's see the data structures. So there are three major type of data structures. First, it is totally dependent upon the arrangement of the data. Then second one is regarding the memory of the data. And third is type of the data. Okay, so there are data structures. First is linear and non-linear. So this is totally based upon the arrangement. Okay, how the data is arranged. Is it a linear way or non-linear way? Okay, so you must have done programming on arrays, right? So they are linear from 0 to n minus 1, right? So this is linear programming. Okay, and what is non-linear? When they are not arranged in a linear way, that is called as a non-linear. So structure of data could be linear structure or non-linear structure. Okay, so it is based upon the arrangement of the data. I hope you can see it if at all. Otherwise, I'll send you some notes. Okay. So next is the static data structure and dynamic data structure. Okay. What is static and dynamic? These structures are based upon the type of memory they use. Okay, it is not the memory of the computer or the laptop. It is not that. It is a memory which is static or dynamic. Okay, so when you when you declare some variable and you assign the memory, if it sticks to that particular range, then it is a static, that it will not change. Okay, but if it is going to change in the runtime, it is called as a dynamic. So again, for static structure, there is array, because when we declare an array, we define the size. Okay, but for dynamic, you don't have to define any size, because they will change the size according to the usage or according to the application, right? So linked list, okay, that is one of the important data structure that we are going to study in this DSA. Okay, and third type is type dependent upon the data type, the structure dependent upon the data type. Okay, that is homogeneous and non-homogeneous. Okay, homogeneous data structure holds a similar type of data. Okay, if I say I'm going to save the integer data, then it is going to save only integer. There will be no character, there will be no anything else than this integer. But in non-homogeneous type of data structure, you can have the data which is integer, it is float, string, character, or anything like that. Okay, so these are the three main types of data structure. So you will ask the definition or the types of data structure. There are total three types of data structure. One based upon the arrangement of the data, second is upon the memory used for the data, and third is the type of the data. Okay, so these are the data structure, that is linear, non-linear, static, dynamic, homogeneous, non-homogeneous, right? So in all, there are 6 type of different data structure that we are going to study in this particular curriculum, right? So now the next part is data types. You have done programming, so you are very well aware of what is data types. Okay, what is data type? Data type is, when you do programming, if I ask you to write a program to add two numbers, you take either integer or float, right? So this integer, float, character, this is called as a data type. So data types are divided into two major parts. One is primitive data type and other is non-primitive data type. Okay. One is primitive data type and other is non-primitive data type. What comes under this primitive data type? This primitive data type consists all the data types which are known to computer. Okay. The computer understands when you write integer in your C, when you write character or when you write float, it will change the color. If you will do programming, you definitely will, remember, or, you will see. Okay, it will, because these are the things which are very much known to the computer. So these are the things, or these are the types that are known to computer already. They have already been fed. Okay, the programming of the computer or the OS have been programmed such a way that they know these data types. So these are the basic important data types. Okay, so they are called as a primitive data types. The other part is, the other type of data is non-primitive data type. Okay, the data types which are not the basic are non-primitive data types. So what is this? These are the derived data types. These are the derived data types from the user or the programmer using the basic. Okay, so non-primitive data type are the data types which are derived from primitive data types, which are not known to computer. They are human made. Okay, so you make your computer or you make your program get aware of the new data type are called as a non-primitive data types. लक्षात येत आहे? So integer, character and floats are primitive data types. Those are the basic data types, whereas non-primitive data types are the data types which are derived from primitive data type. they are not known to computer. कम्प्युटरला त्या डेटा टाइपची माहिती नसते. ते तयार होतात using the primitive data types. So what are that non-primitive data types? Those are arrays, lists, and files. So you have done programming using array. Okay. So in array, you use integer array, you use character array. Okay. You know string, what is string, right? That is a character array. So you have done it. So now we are going to just study in more detail. Okay. So non-primitive type in data types are arrays, lists, and files. Okay. Again, list. List is a data type which is arranged in two other ways, either linear way and non-linear way. As I have discussed earlier, the data structures can be linear or non-linear. Linear is a single line, and non-linear is it is not a line. It could be anything like graph or tree or something like that. Okay, that we are going to learn in next few chapters. Okay, so list is again divided into two parts, two types. One is linear and other is non-linear. Okay, then in linear, if I say linear list, then those are stack, queue. Okay, stack, queue, and linked list. And for non-linear, there is a tree, there is a graph, and again a linked list. So linked list could be linear, it could be non-linear, but stack and queue are linear data types, and tree and graphs are called as a non-linear data type. This is one of the important graph that you must learn. Okay. So again, I revise it quickly. There is a data type. There are two types of data. One is primitive data, another is non-primitive data. So data types are, there are two types of data. Primitive data type, non-primitive data type. In primitive data type, there are three data types: integer, character, float. Whereas in non-primitive data type, there are arrays, list, and files. List is further divided into two parts. One is linear data type, other is non-linear data type. In linear data type, there is stack, queue, and linked list, whereas in non-linear, there is tree, graph, and linked list. Okay, so this is the basic. Okay, and regarding all this, if you find any difficulty, you can always ask me. Now the next part that we are going to learn today is algorithm. What is algorithm? You all are very much aware because you must have created the algorithms while doing programming. So I hope you are recollecting if at all. Okay. So what is algorithm? When I say I want to write a program to add two numbers, if I want to write a program to add two numbers, so if I want you to write a program to add two numbers and store, right? So if I want to write this program, the first thing one should add or one should start with, or it should be a good practice, or it is a good practice to start any program before actual coding. You should write the algorithm. Okay, so it is a good practice to write the algorithm before starting program. Okay, so when I say I want to add two numbers, then what is going to be the algorithm? I'm going to take the input from user. So I will start. Okay, I will start the program. Then I will take first input. Okay, that is first number. Then I will take second input. That is the second number. Then I will do some processing. That is 1 plus 2, right? And I will display, that is print, and I will stop. So this is a basic algorithm, right? Where what I have done, I started with the program. I have taken the input from the user, first input, second input. Then I have done the processing, that in addition of the input, and then we will display the output, that is the outcome of this particular processing. Okay, so when you write the algorithm, the picture get more clearer. Okay, key how we should write the algorithm or how we should write the program, right? So if we see here, I have not mentioned that I need to declare a variable to store the output. Okay, so it gets really easy when you write the algorithm. Okay, so this is the importance of algorithm. So in some preceding lectures, I'm going to explain you about the algorithms, how this algorithm should be, the efficiency of algorithm, how they are important in data structures also, because the OS that also uses the program. Okay, so they have data, so they have the arrangement of data. So similarly, they need some algorithm to store the procedure of the data, right? So here we will stop for today, and in the next lecture we will see the algorithm, types of algorithm, and the notations and many different things. I hope you understand. And if you find any kind of difficulty, please tell me. Okay.